let's shift our weights towards a very, very important week 14 of this 2021 season. It's clinching season, as we like to call it here on Very Cold Lasagna. That's because, well, this is a very important week this season because this is the time where teams are eligible to clinch their spots into the playoffs. The teams eligible for this week are the Cardinals, the Packers, and the Bucs. Unfortunately, there are no teams eligible to be eliminated. So for those that are looking to have the Jacksonville Jaguars or the New York Jets or who else is eligible? I think those are the only two ones that have the lowest records. Or the Detroit, even the Detroit Lions. How are they not eliminated yet? But nonetheless, those couple of teams that are very bottom of the barrel, looking ahead to April, are not eligible to be eliminated this week as of this recording. But the teams that are eligible to clinch their playoff spots this week are the Cardinals, the Packers, the Bucs. The Cardinals have the simplest way to clinch their spot. They beat the Rams and they're in. For the Packers and the Bucs, just to simply clinch a playoff spot, it gets very dicey. They need a whole lot of things to go their way. But for the Packers and the Bucs, they can clinch the division as soon as this week. They just need at least a few things to go their way. For the Packers, to clinch the NFC North, they need to have the Vikings to lose on Thursday night. They need to lose on Thursday night to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously they got to beat Bears football on Sunday night. For the Bucs to clinch the NFC South this week, the Jets, they have to pull off an upset somehow. The New York Jets, they somehow got to pull off an upset over the New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons have to beat Carolina on the road, and the Bucs got to do their part to beat the Bills at home. So, two divisions are eligible to be clinched this week. In this week action of week 14. Other than clinching, there's just a lot of games with playoff importance, which is telling of where the rest of the season is heading towards and what it's going to look like. And, there's going to be also a lot of teams just simply watching the chaos. You got 4 teams on bye this week, and these are the last batch of teams that are going to be on bye. And then everyone going forward is going to be playing. Everyone that had their bye weeks, they're going to play. They're going to play the rest of the way from week 15 to 18. You got the Colts, the Eagles, the Patriots, and the Dolphins, all pretty much going to be watching the chaos. So now let's get into these games. You kick things off with Thursday Night Football, the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. This is the game that the Packers are going to be watching intensely, so they can sew up the NFC North this weekend. I don't trust either team to follow consistent, like in terms of consistency. But the Vikings have pretty much shown they've been bad with such consistency. But in terms of losing, they are consistent in that. When it comes to winning, though, not so much. Especially considering they snatched away the Lions' golden destiny of getting to 16-1. So even with the big Ben Roethlisberger that's washed up as all hell, the Steelers can gash a bad Minnesota defense that Kirk Cousins won't even be able to make up for. So I'm going to roll with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So then we get to a very, very intense Sunday slate of games, starting with the early morning action. The Dallas Cowboys travel to the nation's capital to take on the Washington football team. This is a big, big matchup for the NFC East that'll likely determine the winner of the division. I mean, it's going to be the Cowboys, but hey, you never know. I mean, Washington is only 2 games back. They still yet to. They only played the New York Giants so far, and that was all the way back in week 2. They still got to pretty much play the rest of the division. They got to play the Cowboys twice, they got to play the Eagles twice, and then they play the Giants in the season finale. For Washington, the division still kind of technically almost a little bit there. They just got to win out if they actually want it, and for things to go against the Cowboys. So this is kind of a big matchup for them. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a crazy hand here, but I'm going to go with Washington. And yes, their secondary is going to be completely torched by Dak Prescott, but I think Taylor Heineke, can be that engine that can get enough against, the Cowboys' middling defense. I mean, honestly, their defense is pretty overrated, if you ask me. So I'm going to go on a really, really crazy hand here and go with Washington to get the upset victory over Dallas. The Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans as the Titans return from their bye, hopefully with a bunch of people like A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, fully healthy, rested up, to hopefully keep their grasp, their very, very small grasp on the AFC South. Hopefully they're all rested up and ready to go against a very shitty Jaguars team, unless Tennessee decides to fuck that up too. So I'm going to roll with the Titans. The Seahawks travel to Houston to take on the Texans. Russell Wilson and the Hawks are probably going to continue to try for their luck in an unlikely playoff push. Even though it's the Texans and even though the Seahawks have been very bad this season, they should take care of an already eliminated Texans team. So give me the Seahawks. The Las Vegas Raiders travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes looking to have a repeat Week 10 performance where he had 5 touchdowns on the Raiders in Vegas, while Derek Carr looking to have a much better performance than he did in Week 13 against Washington, and looking to do better against this Chiefs defense. But sorry, Mr. Carr, your engine is going to burst yet again. This should be a prime spot for the Chiefs offense to cook yet again all over the Raiders before an important Week 15 showdown in Los Angeles. The New Orleans Saints travel to New York to take on the Jets. This is one of the games that Tampa Bay is going to be looking at very, very intensely as well. The Saints, their season is pretty much falling apart right before their very eyes with all the injuries. But the Jets are already a bad team enough to begin with. But New Orleans should be able to take care of Zach Wilson on the road, and they should pull out the win nonetheless. So, sorry, Bucs fan, you're going to have to wait another week to clinch the division. I mean, the Jets probably not going to do you any favors. The Atlanta Falcons take on the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. The Falcons, they don't have anyone besides Matt Ryan, Cordell Patterson, or Kyle Pitts. But the Panthers are not going to make any noise with Cam Newton, who's washed up as all hell under center. So even with the bye week, So I'm going to roll with the Falcons in this one. And then in a must-win game for both teams, the Baltimore Ravens travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Browns at 6-6 are banged up as all hell. Even fresh out of the bye week, who knows how well rested, how healthy these Browns are, especially Baker Mayfield. They're going to be coming out of the bye. How much rest have they really gotten out of the bye week? But, there's always a small chance of an upset against the Ravens team. They've been mildly struggling on all fronts. Lamar Jackson has not been playing well. The rest of the offense has been, outside of Mark Andrews, has been pretty lackluster. The defense, yes, they are injured, but they've still been doing pretty badly as we speak. That said, though, Lamar Jackson should finally, at least for one game, be able to break through that funk against a injury-riddled skid marks team. So I'm going to roll with the Ravens in this one. Then we get to the afternoon slate of games. The New York Giants take on the LA Chargers. And I think the Chargers are primed to feast on a Giants team that won't have neither Daniel Jones nor Mike Lennon under center, at least as of this time. And instead, they'll be starting a dude named Jake Fromm. Is that his name? I know it's some dude named Jake. I know it's not Jake from State Farm. It's not some dude named Jake from State Farm. So that's all I know. Who's starting under center from this game for New York. So either way, the Chargers are likely to pounce all over some G-Men candy yash in this one. So it's going to be real interesting to see that. Not really. So the Detroit Lions are going to try to follow up their first win of the season against the Denver Broncos in the Mile High. So as punishment for defying your destiny, Detroit, you will succumb to a Denver defense. For as bad as they are against elite talent, they will kick ass against scrubs and an offense that is still meh. I swear, Teddy Bridgewater better win this game. I swear, like, Vic Fangio better just put in Drew Lock just to see what the fuck happens. Either way, I just hope Denver wins this one. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. The San Francisco 40 Nightmares take on the Cincinnati Bengals in a must-win game, a big matchup for both teams' playoff hopes. You know, the Niners hold the final NFC wildcard spot at this moment, while the Bengals currently hold the, I think it's the 5th seed. No, I think after they lost to the Chargers, it's probably the 6th seed. But, you know, both teams are kind of banged up going into this matchup. You know, the Niners have yet to find out, as of this time, whether they'll have Deebo Samuel or Fred Warner back for this one. The Bengals are going to also be trotting out a less than 100% Joe Burrow because he had a finger injury that he suffered against the Chargers, and he's going to try to play through it, and that always comes with risks. So either way, all eyes are going to be on both teams. Like for the Bengals, it's going to be how well Joe Burrow's going to play through that finger injury, and well, how is the offense going to respond after, like that very, very mixed performance, especially from Jimmy Garbage fail last Sunday against Seattle. And also all eyes will be on Kyle Shanahan on whether or not he'll be able to play his ball control run first offense. So that should be interesting to see. But either way, I'm going to take the 49ers with a very, very small edge, just because, it's my team. I got to at least pick a winner. So it should be interesting. The Buffalo Bills, in probably a big, big, big game for them, travel to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. The Bucs are pretty much kind of imploding on all fronts, but the Tampa Bay Bucs, on the other hand, are clicking at the right time. Even though they're in different conferences, Josh Allen's got to face his former foe in Tom Brady, who's going to have the honor of gashing a pretty much Tre'Davious Whiteless Bills defense. We didn't get to see what life was going to be like without him on Monday night because of the weather conditions, but we're probably going to get a good idea come Sunday against Tom Brady and the Bucs. So with these bevy of weapons the Bucs have, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, even Cameron Brate. Yeah, Buffalo, have fun with that. Have fun with that on Sunday. So I'm going to roll with the Bucs. Then in the Sunday night game, oh man, we've been waiting all day for Bears football, guaranteed. Yeah, the Chicago Bears take on the Green Bay Packers. Are you ready for this? This is the moment of the episode where I say fuck you to the NFL for not finding a better game for this Sunday night matchup, for not flexing in a better game because you want to have your hard-ons, your dicks out for the history of Bears football and Green Bay, baby. Yeah, you really want to grab in those ratings for Bears football and Green Bay Packer football. Oh well. So for all of us sad sacks of shit that have to watch this game just to talk about it, oh man, you better be ready. You better be ready for Aaron Rodgers to show the Bears once again that he's their schleg daddy. And of course, get ready for that one-course meal of prime time served on a platter with Matt Nagy's bald-ass head on it. Bears football. Guaranteed. Then in the Monday night game, the LA Rams take on the Arizona Cardinals in a big, big NFC West matchup. And, this is a good closer of the week. if the Rams win, they gain a little bit of ground in the NFC West, and if the Cardinals falter, the Rams could slip their way back up to the top of the division. But if the Cardinals win, they pretty much got a firm grasp on this on the NFC West. But anyway, the Rams lost 3 of 4. They pretty much beat the Jaguars, and that's no accomplishment. The Cardinals actually have managed to win 2 of 3 before their bye, and once Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins got back in the fold, they pretty much destroyed the Bears in Bears football in Week 13. So I guess it was a good warm up for them ahead of this big showdown. So in essence, the Cardinals got back their 2 big players at the right time. So it's a good time for them for a matchup where they're probably going to need them to replicate their success from Week 4, where the Cardinals smashed the Rams and Matthew Stafford and that high-powered offense and torched that one of the top flight defenses. So I believe in, just like in Week 4, the defense for the Cardinals will be key to stopping Matthew Stafford again. And like I said, for the Cardinals, all they have to do here is win. And I think they'll do so again here in Week 14 to close out the week. And they'll be the first team to clinch their spot in the postseason. But those are my picks for Week 14 of this 2021 season. Let me know how they are, or what you're going with, or if you're going against my picks, let me know what you're going with, who you're rolling with, and who's going to have a big day, who's going to have a bad day. Let me know how you feel about it, however you can.